Hello everybody, it's me. One thing you probably don't know about me is that not only do I collect animation cells, which I had mentioned back, I don't know, a year or two ago, I also collect national flags, flags for countries. Now, this probably started about 2 years ago or something, a little bit after the time that I started the cell collection, which this one I've been putting more focus on because A, it's cheaper, and B, I've run out of wall space to hang the cells. So, yeah, that's that. Now, why I picked these flags is simply because either A, I like the country it's from, or B, the flag looks really cool, or a variety of any sort of thing like that. Now, there will be some strange choices in here, as you will see very clearly as we get on, but oh well. So, time to take a break from directing the Loud House musical, and time to show you my national flag collection. Starting with the first one I got, Somalia. Yes, this is kind of one of those weird choices I mentioned earlier, but oh well. One thing that you also should know about me is that for whatever reason, I don't even know, I have a very strong fascination with the Somali culture and language and just everything about the country. In fact, it would be quite a nice place if it wasn't so war-torn. So, as you can see here, this is the Somali flag, blue with a white star. The blue here, as you can clearly see, right here. Now this represents the sky and the Indian Ocean surrounding it. It originally was supposed to take reference to the United Nations flag, but I think they quickly changed that after they got their independence. And then there's the star here, which represents the Somali ethnic people, and also this flag is pretty much the mascot for the whole ethnic group. Now I got this one 2 years ago off of eBay. Everyone I talked to about this didn't know why I was going to get it, but hey, like I said, real fascination with the country. And this was the first of many flags that I ended up getting. Next one was, oh Canada, our home and native land. Yes, Canada, the second one I got this one for my birthday about a year ago, I believe. So, what does it mean? Well, as you can see here, there is red. This represents bravery and honor. This represents peace and honesty. Yeah, real Canadian stereotype. They even put that on the flag. And this is the maple leaf. It doesn't really have any sort of meaning. Some people say it stands for the provinces of Canada, but that is not true. Or you could go through the other translation that some people have. The red represents the amount of people who play hockey, and the white represents the people that live in igloos. Although the first one is actually true, though. This one, yeah, I got this one for my birthday. I was pretty happy with it, and then shortly after, I got the next one. Oh, look, it's merry old England. With all things considered, I do really like this flag, but this is my least favorite design, not design-wise, but structure-wise in my collection, and I'll get to that in a minute. Design for this thing, it was, I couldn't really find much information on this. Apparently it was just the Church of England, and they adopted it into the national flag. Now, why this one is my least favorite in my collection by structure-wise is it was very, very cheaply made. I mean, I love the flag design and all, but yeah, you see this right here, right along here, how it gets kind of crooked? That is not a folding thing. That came to me like that in the mail when I bought it. Very unhappy with that, but they wouldn't refund anything, so I got stuck with it. But hey, I'm happy to have it. I mean, I like the country and all. Just don't have the Union Jack. That's a little strange, but oh well. Still satisfied with this one, but yeah, cheaply made. The fabric is not exactly the best it could be. And of course, there's this part which pretty much feels like it's made out of a garbage bag, but even still, happy to own it at least. Up next is Zambia, or for the really uneducated, Zambia. Actually, that was the real name. Okay, what does this all mean? Well, for one, it's mostly green, and if you cut it off right here, it'd look like the old Muammar Gaddafi Libyan flag. Luckily, I don't have that one. Okay, so the green, lots of green here, represents the abundance of natural resources, and the orange is similar. It's a bunch of the mineral natural resources. Black is representing the people, red is for the struggle for freedom, and then the eagle is, well, the freedom. Got this one for Christmas last year. This along with like the next three. So I will pretty much be glancing over how I got those ones. Very happy with this one. Another really fine made one. The Somalia one is probably one of the most high quality I have, but this is definitely up there. Of course, it's going to be really hard to describe how it feels or how it flies. you know what I mean. And for the record, no, I do not fly these outside. I just have a flagpole in my room that I rotate them frequently, although there is one that I rarely put on there, and I will explain that one when it comes. The good old US of A. Wouldn't be a flag collection without one of these, now would it? Okay, I'm pretty sure a lot of you know what this all means. There are the 50 stars up there representing the 50 states, or like 58 if you're President Obama. Then there's the 13 stripes, which represent the 13 colonies. The blue represents justice. You know, the blue right up there, unless you're colorblind, this turns like, I don't know, clear or something. The red represents valor and honor, and the white represents innocence. Yeah, innocence, America. As we're kind of the world police, I'm not so sure that's entirely accurate, but oh well, it's a great country. Very, very great. Must resist Donald Trump reference. Okay, anyways. I also got this one for Christmas, as you can see. Another very high quality one, and man, does it show up well on camera. Number 6 is Vatican City. Now, I myself am not Catholic, but I do really like Vatican City. It does a lot of really good stuff. Pope Francis just seems like an amazing guy, but anyways, my thoughts on the Vatican aside, what does this flag mean? Well, here's the coat of arms, very intricate thing to put on a flag. I mean, just take a nice look at all this. Now, the funny thing is, being so intricate in design, it only has like a really simple meaning. This, of course, being like the Pope's hat or something in his importance. That's the only thing I'm not entirely sure on. These are the keys to heaven right here. And this is the red rope that ties them together. You need both of them to get into heaven, what are the keys to heaven? That takes a lot of explaining, and I don't have enough time for that in this video. Now, the yellow and the white just pertain to the keys again. It's just basically another emphasis on then, how important it is. Well, hey, it's Vatican City, so don't question it. Next is Israel, the land of God's chosen people. Again, I myself am not Jewish, but along with Somali culture, I have another affinity for Jewish culture. Very much a pro-Semite, and I am very much in favor of Israel. Now, political stuff aside, what does all this mean? Well, as we all know, that in the center is the Star of David, the typical Jewish symbol, pretty much their logo. And then the red and, sorry, not the red, wow. The blue and the white are the typical colors of the prayer shawl. And that is pretty much it. This is the last one I got for Christmas last year. So unfortunately, that's all I can really say about this one. Another really high quality one, made from really good materials. So, which one's next? South Korea. This one actually always kind of confuses me because I always end up putting the blue on top for some reason. So I had to check a picture before I put this one out, because if it looked upside down like this, I know that just would not be right. Anyways, South Korea, what does it mean? The white represents peace. And then, of course, the red and blue represent the balance between positive and negative forces. Kind of makes me wonder if that's the thing if that's kind of referencing North and South Korea, which we all know that's not really working so well for them, or at least for North Korea. And then, of course, these represent... I'm not exactly sure. Throughout all the sources I've seen and asking all my Korean friends, they all give me various things, like they each represent different elements, or they represent different seasons. Either way, they look great, and I'm very happy to have this one. Very high quality one, probably one of the most high quality ones I have. But of course, for all the good that South Korea brings, there has to be North Korea. Don't judge me, okay? I only got this one because it came in a bundle with South Korea, and it was a really good deal. Now, for those of you who are wondering, yes, this is the one that I said, this is the one I rarely put on here. Really, aside from the fact that it was a good deal, the only reason I ended up getting it was for the failed series, Kim Town, where I was going to use this as like a, I don't know, some sort of transition and some bits in the opening theme, but as we all know, that kind of went under. So now I've got this one. It's probably next to the England one, the next shoddiest made. I mean, given the country it's from, doesn't really surprise me. Granted, I didn't actually get this from North Korea, but even still. Okay. The red represents the communist revolution that they had. The star represents communism itself. Blue represents sovereignty. And then the white represents peace. Must resist. Talking about how that doesn't make sense. Okay. Got this one just, like I said, kind of because it was a bundle with South Korea, which I got that one back in February. And I also got this one back in February. It was just, I'm kind of wondering why I got this one now. I mean, just... Next one. Argentina. Okay, back to the normal countries. This one I got, what was it, April, I think? From the same guy who made the Somalia one. Very high quality, as you can expect. Yes, feel the fabric. I know you can all reach into your computer screens or iPhone screens or sewer cover screens and feel it. Now, this one is a really interesting one to describe because that's the May sun in the center, which just is on a lot of South American flags from what I understand. And then there's the blue and the white, which means nothing. The Constitution leaves it completely undefined. Now, some people say it's the sky or the water or the flesh-eating lizards that used to run the parliament or anything, but no, it's nothing. Constitution leaves it completely undefined, so I guess it's up to your imagination. Even still, very nice design. Very happy to have this one. What did I do to the Japanese flag? This isn't actually Japan, this is Bangladesh. The red represents the struggle for freedom, as a lot of flags have, as you can clearly see the pattern, and the green represents all the vegetation that they have, and if you're wondering, no, the red circle is not in the center because it's supposed to be slightly off to the left so that when it's flying it gets pushed to the center, which is actually kind of a nice engineering thing. This and the next two I got in a bundle, I think it was in June. Really high quality, a really thick one too. Let's see if I can kind of show you this on camera. No, I can't. But it's very thick material, which can make it a little difficult for flying, but luckily I don't actually fly this. So, hey, what do I know? Yeesh. I must be really taking bad care of these flags that they all end up looking like this. No, actually, this is Nepal. The only national flag, I should say, that is not a quadrilateral, meaning a rectangle, square, or any four-sided thing. Anyways, the shape here actually does have some sort of a meaning. It represents the Himalayan mountains that surround the nation. There is also the red, which represents the rhododendron. There is also the blue, which represents peace. And then, of course, these represent certain royal families and, of course, position of power. Of course, any flag collector has to have this one, as it's probably the most, well, distinct flag for a number of reasons. Now, a lot of people say, no, America's the most distinct because everyone knows what it is. Yeah, true, but Malaysia and Liberia kind of have the similar flags. But hey, we had it first. Anyways, yeah, very odd looking flag, but still very cool. Very distinct, and I do really like it. And, well, like I said, any flag collector should have to have this one, given how unique it is. Let's just hope another country doesn't try to steal it. This one is Sudan, not South Sudan, just regular Sudan. This one came in a bundle with the others, and it came free with that one, actually, so yeah, that's kind of why I have this one. I mean, yeah, I know it's not exactly the friendliest of nations, but still it's a pretty interesting place. Anyways, the green represents Islam, which is the country's main religion. Black represents the people. White represents peace, which I don't know if that's exactly accurate given the country's history. And then, of course, we all know what the red is. That's the blood of the people who fought for its independence and all that. As you can tell, a lot of flags have that. Now, that's not exactly blaming them for that because, well, it's a pretty important thing, because if there wasn't any of that, your country wouldn't even exist. So it's, of course, great to recognize the struggle that they had and all sorts of stuff like that. Another very thick one, just like Bangladesh. Yes, Qatar, which at the end of it's kind of faded away. Oh, there it is. Now, for those who actually know flags, this is obviously supposed to be way longer. It's supposed to go out to, like, right here or so. But the place that I got this was pretty cheap, which I probably should have just kept looking now that I think about it. But anyways, the maroon, or purple, kind of depends, is representing all the bloodshed and stuff fought in the Qatari wars, which, hey, at least it's not red, so at least a little bit of points for originality. White represents peace, as it normally does. And then these 9 points right here represents the 9 Emirates, from what I can tell. And yes, for those who don't know, the Qatari flag is supposed to be the longest flag by a long shot, but as you can see here, it is quite obviously not. And the one I have, oh well, still like this one. This one is Thailand. I have a lot of friends who go to mission trips and humanitarian trips with this one, so I kind of got this one. Red represents, of course, the blood and all that sort of stuff. Blue represents the monarchy, and the white represents the purest nature of the Buddhist faith, which is, of course, their national religion. I got this from the same one as the Qatari one. Got this one, Qatar, and my next one, believe it was late June. The same person who sold the Bangladesh, Nepal, and Sudan ones, but these are very different in quality, not nearly as thick. Very thin. Let's see if you can. Yeah, very thin as opposed to the other ones, which not like you could tell how thick those ones were either. But oh well, the point still stands. But I am still really proud of this one. This is Angola, and before you ask, no, Angola is not a communist country. It's a country in Africa that was colonized by the Soviet Union, hence the machete and cogwheel right here, and the star, which originally represented the Soviet Union symbol, but since that kind of fell apart, they were stuck with this one. They just never really bothered to change it. And then the red and the black represent freedom and or death. It depends on the translation. I got this one, like I said, along with the others. And this one, for some reason, even though being sold in the same package, and with those other two being a little bit less good a quality than the other ones, this one is actually kind of a little bit better than those other ones, actually. Very happy with how this one turns out. Even though it kind of shows up a little weird and a little too shiny on camera, I can tell you for one thing, if you see it as it actually is, it looks really good. This is the Philippines, and like Thailand, I got quite a few friends that go to here for humanitarian stuff, so why not get this one too? Besides, it's a very nice design too, and also really high quality. These last 6 I got actually for my birthday, which was August 3rd. And then that is pretty much it. So, the red represents the, what was it? Oh, sorry, patriotism. You kind of slipped my mind there. Blue represents sacrifice, and both the yellow sun and the white triangle both kind of represent liberty, and then the 3 stars here represent the main ethnic groups. Philippines, like I said, is one that a lot of my friends go to for humanitarian stuff, so why not get this one too? And besides, as I said before, I'm getting really redundant here, very nice in design. Ah, France. Once a great country, now having just the worst of luck in these days. This one's kind of simple, so I'll keep it short. France, the red, white, and blue, which is not to be confused with the same stuff that America has, even though it's the same colors. Anyways, they both represent liberty, equality, and of course common interest. Not in that specific order. It's the place I got this information from didn't really specify, but those are basically the ideals of the French Revolution, and that is why they have this flag. May God have mercy on France these days. Taiwan, aka Old China before the Communist Revolution took place. Now, the red represents the Han people, which, from what I can tell, is the main people in there. And then, of course, there's the blue, which represents the main political party, and then there are the 12 points here, one for each 2 hours of the day. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Like I said, Old China, and now Taiwan, or the Republic of China, or Chinese province. It really depends. It's really complicated, and I don't have enough time to explain it all here, so next one. Cuba. Now, this one may be a little bit of explaining, because there's a lot on this one. The 3 blue stripes represent the 3 branches of the military. The white represents purity. The triangle represents equality. The red represents all the bloodshed, farmers' independence, as one is to expect at this point. And then the white star right here represents liberty and freedom. Now, why do I have a Cuba one, you may ask? Is it because of the new trade relations between Cuba and the United States? Is it because, well, any sort of reason? Well, actually, no, just because I think it looks kind of cool. And, well, it's got a lot of history to it because, fun fact for you, Cuba is the only communist country that did not change its flag once the communists went to power. And no, I do not have the Che flag or any of that because ask any real Cuban, they'll tell you all the people that put him on their walls or on posters or anything is just kind of ridiculous. Here we have Liechtenstein, the tiny itty bitty teeny weeny country in Europe with no airport. Now the blue and the red, man, I got a lot of red, white, and blue ones now that I think of it, represent just the Liechtenstein people. That's pretty much it. And then the crown represents liberty, and also the fact that it's ruled by the prince. Yes, very tiny, very remote place, but from what I hear, it's very beautiful. And, well, the flag looks really nice too, and also really high quality. Perfect thickness, perfect durability. Really approve of it. And so we end with Vietnam, which, funny enough, we start off with Somalia, and now we end with Vietnam, which, if you don't remember, Somalia was a blue flag with a white star, and Vietnam is a red flag with a yellow star. Funny enough. And like I said, got this one for my birthday just a little bit ago. The red represents the bloodshed, of course, and then the star right here represents the 5 workers of socialism. And this, of course, used to be North Vietnam before the Vietnam War kind of fell apart, and then they ended up becoming communists and are still that way to this day. Well, folks, this has been my flag collection. Hope you enjoyed it. And now time to get back to work on the Loud House musical.